Welcome back, guys, to another video. And yes, for all our routine viewers, we have been slacking on our videos because
January. It always happens to us in January.
Well, it's January, and it's also like the freaking beginning of starting a business is treacherous. And it's gotten the best of us, but it's okay. That positive vibe is coming back. And we need your guys' love and support. So if you guys are new here, subscribe, like the video, drop us a nice comment to give us that motivation to get back into the group. To give you guys these upbeat videos and let you guys know what's happening in our lives, because we have a bunch of these questions that we needed to answer a couple of weeks back. And we're going to answer them right now, unedited, unfiltered, and get this video out tonight for you guys. So let's get it started. First question.
First question is, are you both Canadian citizens?
That is a yes.
Yes, and a yes.
We are both Canadian citizens.
Yeah. Now, what are the easy steps to follow to be able to work in Florida as a Canadian?
Do you want to answer that or answer that?
Well, there's no easy steps. Nothing's...
Their baby is crying. How come?
Here, maybe I'll just... Oh, baby. It's late.
Okay, I had so much for unedited.
It's late.
Okay, put him on the secret weapon.
Okay.
Edit. No edit. Oh no, wait, I'm not censoring that. Okay. Are you good?
Alright, yeah, I'm good.
Okay, so you answered it or I answered that?
What was the question?
Read the question again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, what are the easy steps to follow to be able to work in Florida? Okay,
so like Samantha said, there is no easy steps to doing something different than what you're usually used to doing, because that's why it's hard. Not everybody does it. It's very difficult to kind of go about doing it, but you just could do it with a plan.
Yeah, there's just a lot of little steps that can lead you to be able to do it. It's definitely a process, and I think the easiest way, honestly, the easiest way for somebody to move to Florida is to get hired by a Florida company.
100%.
So,
we've been getting so many.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you work for Desjardins Bank and you apply for Desjardins Bank in Miami, and then you get a transfer.
Before you use those names, So like we have a lot of viewers from Canada, from back home where we're from Quebec, Montreal. And we have a lot of people asking us these questions of like, how can I get a visa, or how can I do this, or what do I need to do? Everybody has to realize that everybody's situation is completely different. Depending if you're a business owner, just a regular employee, depending on what you want to do, everybody's situation is different. You may fall in love with somebody and marry that person. You become a citizen way before we do. You know what I mean? So everybody's situation is different. So
like we have people that have decided to move after us, and they're already like 10 steps ahead of us, just for the simplicity of
their situation being different.
Exactly. So
for planning, there is no easy way. Figure out what your situation is, figure out what your needs are, figure out what your goals are, and then work around that. Create a plan, execute it, stick to it, and you'll have your dream come true.
Exactly. Next. So please enumerate and describe the different U.S. visas available. So we're not going to go through the entire list of visas, because like we could just pull them up, obviously. But if you are getting hired, you're going to get some type of L visa. Now the two visas that we're going to talk about here, which are like the main investor's visa, when you have a company or you're starting a company, you're either buying a company or starting a company in the U.S., is really the E2. And then it's the L1. So
L1A.
I
think. Anyways,
it's the L1. So Hendrix. All right.
Who's your boo up?
I don't know.
Okay.
He's like he wants to. All right. So the E2 is basically the investor's visa. You can only get one of those if you're from a treaty country. So emotional. What happened?
Okay, but wait, we might have to do some cuts on this video.
Yeah, sorry daddy. We're back. So, the investor's visa, which is the E2, is the one that you need to invest about $100,000. You guys could Google it. There's like some requirements. The main requirement is that you are from a treaty country. Canada is part of that. Yeah. So,
and again, there's different investor visas out there. Like we're just mentioning the ones that like we're looking at.
The two most common.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, so for the E2, you basically are investing an X amount of money into the country, into your business, and then that's usually for 2 to 5 years, but it does not get you citizenship granted when you get it. And it's renewable indefinitely. So you don't become a citizen.
But you always have to renew it, and it's kind of a headache.
Exactly, and
we're aiming.
Well, we're aiming for citizenship, but we personally might go through the E2. We can't speak about our personal case until it's done. So those are just like the options. And so then again, the L. Sorry, go. No, and then the L1 is really more of like a transfer of a company. So you have a company currently, it's staying open in Canada, and then it's opening a division in the US while it's being ran, and you're going there as a manager. So you're being transferred as a manager to basically start up the new company.
Exactly, and that comes with like its own set of rules that you know, you need to have your managers and your employees and your bunch of people still back at home.
Degrees better.
Yeah, exactly, and all that stuff. So the best, do your research.
Yeah, definitely, depending on your situation, consult a lawyer. I gave you guys a good trick last time, is to just like really do all your research and then get like, you know, your questions and take that 30-minute consultation, which is free with a bunch of lawyers, and then you can get all your answers answered. Your questions.
And if you guys haven't seen that video, we're gonna put a link in the description right here. So put it, you guys can click on it. So next question.
Yes, okay, so what legal battles did you have with citizenship and buying a house? So first of all, we did not buy a house.
Yeah.
Because fun fact, buying a house does not count as an investment.
For your visa.
And we will let you know the legal battles for citizenship because we don't have one right now.
Exactly. So everything is a step process to get to that situation and that sort of like situation.
Yeah, exactly.
To get a citizenship. So we're not there yet. So when we're gonna get there, we'll let you guys know.
Let you know. Another question I got is where to start. What was you guys' first steps? So obviously we took our first steps while we were still in Canada, and this was like a 2-year plan that we did. But I would say, what's our first step that we did?
Well, the first step was
opening the company.
Well, wait. The first step is first visualize it and make the decision that you want to do it. Come up with a plan.
Yeah.
And then have a whiteboard on the wall, like we've said in previous videos.
Which we should do because we haven't done yet here.
Yeah, we should have, and write down all the things that you need to do and start executing one thing at a time.
Yeah,
and so
our first thing I believe that we did,
we opened up
other than market research and all that fun stuff,
found the location where we wanted to operate and move to,
and
then open up the business.
Yeah, so we opened up the business online. It's a couple $100, and you're totally allowed to own a business in the US even if you're not a US citizen. The best thing for that is to get an ITIN, which I will do a video on how to get that when you're a Canadian citizen. But yeah, you can have that no problem. There's no issues. You don't need citizenship. So there's that. So that was our first step. And I think once we're like have all this done, maybe I'll make like a guide on exactly what we did. But it has to be once it's done.
Yeah.
So
for right now, if you guys have more questions, just drop a comment. Don't be shy. Don't be scared. We'll be glad to answer every question.
Exactly. Because we'll keep doing this as we go along. As we learn more, we'll just share more with you guys.
And we see like out of the views, like a lot of people like knowing what we're going through and what we're doing. So again, keep the questions coming, and then we'll keep the answers coming.
Yeah, for sure. Did you keep your house in Quebec just in case, or did you sell for the money, Canadian to US? So
that was can I answer?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so that was something that we talked about for a long time. We bounced back and forth on this topic, thinking like, should we keep the house? Should we not keep it?
Yeah.
And this, whatever. So we finally decided to get rid of that house. And luckily, we were actually, well, luckily, not really, because with this market,
at first we wanted to keep both. Initially, we wanted to keep both. I remember that.
Initially, we wanted to keep both. But then once we started realizing the spike in housing, especially in Florida, was getting kind of out of control, we kind of made the decision that it wasn't really worth it to keep the house, because to have 2 payments on 2 homes was a little bit ridiculous. So we kind of weighed out the pros and cons, and thinking to ourselves, if we were to come back to Canada even for like a week out of the month, it would be cheaper for us just to Airbnb a place for a week than to actually have a payment on the house. And also we were luckily renting that house, so it was kind of easy for us to kind of cut ties. But sometimes we do actually bite our tongues on that situation, because maybe if we would have owned the house, we would have made probably $500,000. So, yeah.
Yeah, so we had, long story short, we had the opportunity to buy our neighbor's house for really, 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 really cheap. And although I said it was a great idea,
it's my fault.
No, because we could have made it happen, but we would have had to move around a lot of stuff. Our business was you know, it was doing well, but we were reinvesting in it a lot. So we would have had to kind of not reinvest in it and invest in our personal life instead, which would have led us to, you know, pay more taxes and blah, blah, blah. So.
But either way, that's the past.
But we would have made a good hefty, at least $350,000 in our home, which was our first home that we bought. So we would have been not taxed on it, and it would have been amazing.
Exactly.
But it's okay.
So to summarize, we were renting our house in Quebec. We got rid of that house. It's gone, so we only have one payment for one house, which is this one that we're living in right now.
Which is enough.
Which is, it's enough.
More than enough.
Next question.
All right, so how expensive is healthcare insurance?
So I actually researched this. I've been researching it for a long time because it varies. Honestly, guys, like it really varies from like a few $100s to a couple of $1,000s. But the average fair amount for a family of 4 for like a pretty good coverage is around $1,400 a month. So yes, it is expensive, but when you calculate what we pay in taxes in Canada compared to like what we could have here, that's the average cost. That's not including like, now we're not talking about if it's included in your work plan and your work job.
But that's the thing, we're also gonna get insurance with our...
Exactly, that's what we're gonna do. Like we're just gonna add it, we're gonna do an umbrella insurance for our company, and we're obviously just gonna be covered through that. So it's gonna be an expense.
But once it's fully done, we will do like price breakdowns. I know a lot of people are curious about the prices, so I don't mind going like deep into the numbers once it's done.
We've had a lot of questions about that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And stay tuned, because maybe our next video is gonna be a complete breakdown on what it costs us to actually
live here,
live in Florida. So
yeah, like an accurate, especially with this market.
Yeah.
Green card or right to work. So your green card, if you really want a green card one shot and you're a trust fund baby, you can literally just invest $1 million.
Boom, it's done.
And you get a green card. They're like, thank you very much. It has to be into like infrastructure or something that is going to benefit the community or the country.
Or play the lottery and just win the lottery and just pay a bunch of taxes, and then boom, it's done.
Exactly. Or you can invest, I think, $600,000 into an infrastructure with a group of other investors, and together pool and make a big like change in a community, and then you'll get your green card. Again, we are not lawyers. This is all information that we've gathered from our own personal research. Exactly. So that's that.
Yeah.
Can you buy a house with your Canadian credit score? Funny enough, we were talking about this.
We were talking about this. So you want to answer that, or I want to answer that?
Oh, I don't know. Have I been talking too much?
No, go.
So you can. You can do that. Well, I just love talking about this stuff.
You love, I know, but
you
gotta give brothers a chance.
Okay, so you talk about that.
Go.
Okay.
Ladies first.
Okay.
And last. And middle.
So you can buy a house using your Canadian credit. How you do that is going through, the only way that I know how is to go through an affiliated bank that's here, but that's also in Canada. So like Nat Bank, which is National Bank, or... Hi, toddler. Our son just left. Wow, this is great. So, okay, so you can use, for example, Desjardins or Nat Bank or a Royal Bank, RBC.
What's Nat Bank?
Nat Bank here is National Bank, but here it's called Nat Bank.
Oh.
They have an affiliate here too. So if you use one of those affiliate banks, they'll use your credit from Canada with the other bank that you're with, which has to be the same, like Desjardins. And then they'll use that, but you do have to pay higher interest and higher payment, like a higher down payment. Yeah.
You want me to do it?
Yeah, go.
Okay, so in the US and in Canada, we are lucky to have certain banks that actually bank on both sides of the border. So as Canadians, yes, you could use your Canadian credit to get a mortgage, but the downside to it is that you're gonna pay a higher premium. And second of all, you're gonna pay a load of money down.
Like 30.
So your down payment is gonna range between 20 to 40%.
Which,
so if you do the math on a $300,000 or $400,000 house, which good luck trying to find a house
right now in this market,
and the values of that, because they're very hard to find. It's a crap load of money. You're talking about like 150, 160. And look, if you have the money, great.
And it doesn't count for your visa, so
but in our
that money.
Exactly. So in our situation, we weighed out the pros and the cons, and we figured out like, hey, what could we do? Is it worth it to buy a house? And unfortunately for our case, to buy a personal house for ourselves, that money that you would give towards buying a house will not count for your investor's visa for your business. So that's why we opted out on kind of like renting instead of like buying right away. Because one, we decided, hey, how about we just use the time to build our US credit so we could kind of get the benefits of buying like a US citizen, which is like low downs, take advantage of their interest rates and all the banking that US has to offer. And then take that time to kind of save money to do it that way, which is going to be a lot easier than dropping like $200,000 just to get a house. And that's if you're lucky, because right now, a nice house is like 800 grand to $1 million.
It's crazy.
So
literally
40% of that is 400 grand. That's a lot of freaking money. So next question. Save your money.
That's a lot. It's a lot right now. Would you recommend meeting an immigration lawyer, or it's not necessary if you do research?
Yes. Do your research. Meet a lawyer.
Research first.
Meet a lawyer.
Do the free consultation stuff.
Do a bunch of free consultations with different lawyers. Speak to your friends. Speak to people. Get references. Get people that know that like. Yeah,
I spoke to 3 lawyers. I debated between because Evan was working, so I was doing all the calls. I was debating between taking a lawyer that was in Montreal or taking a lawyer that was already here. So I spoke to 3 lawyers in total, and one of them was just really hard to reach. So I thought that would not be practical in general. Like if your lawyer is too hard to reach and you can't reach them,
exit out.
Red because flag. You're gonna need to reach them like fast. So, and then I took the consultations with both other ones, and one of them just literally said that he would not be any service to us because we did so much research that
he thought that we would be able to deal with the application ourselves.
Which, in hindsight, I should have applied, but it's just because I know how these things are, and although I've dealt with a lot of border paperwork that I've done, I know that you can make one mistake and it throws off your entire thing. So it's like, am I willing to risk that?
For like a few $1,000s.
Yeah, and then this other lawyer that I found was really amazing. They're a husband and wife team, and they work together. They're awesome. I can reach them anytime. Like, it's great. So we're gonna go with that for now. And so I think you should definitely do your research and get a lot of lawyers. Our baby is just not having it.
He's pressing the eject button.
He's pressing the eject button.
Okay, let's go. Last question so we can finish up this video.
Oh my gosh, okay. What's the biggest trade-off of living in Florida? It is the working full-time and the freedom. Like, we like trucks. We like lifted trucks. We like doing all that stuff. We have the freedom to do that here. We like working. We want to work all year round. We can do that here. That's the biggest trade-off of being in Florida itself.
Next question.
Where do you do your groceries?
That's kind of who asked that question?
I'm not gonna tell you.
Do we know the person?
No.
Okay. Who would ask the question?
Organic or?
But sorry, whoever.
No, don't do that because then they're not gonna ask questions.
Okay, okay, you guys can ask. No, but it's just a funny question.
It's
like saying like, you know what brand underwear do you wear? You
know?
No,
but.
She doesn't wear underwear. I'm joking.
Okay, so where do you do your groceries, organic or healthy? Like, moms want to know this stuff. And the truth of the matter is that I haven't found the perfect place yet, okay? Like, I'm still looking for my choose the fresh one. No, I'm not, I have my hand. I'm still looking for my choose the fresh one because I have not found a delivery yet. So I think I'm gonna go to farmers markets.
And she talks like everybody's supposed to know who choose the fresh one is. She thinks that all our viewers are from Quebec.
No, but choose the fresh one is where I used to order my groceries back in Quebec. It was the best price. It was amazing, good customer service, and I just have not found it.
It was a delivery service for groceries.
And they were the intermediary, so they cut the prices. Anyways, it was great. I haven't found one yet. Still looking, but I will let you know, Mama.
So yeah, it's taking time to kind of like figure out our little
like we've been spending
good deals on things.
Yeah, exactly. So now the before last question is: are you guys currently working in Florida? If yes, what kind of visa allows it? So we are currently not working because we're still pending the visa. That's the truth. We're just sharing our story because we want to be real with you guys. We don't want to be like every other YouTuber that just tells you, oh my God, it's done, you know, before it's even done, which is why we can't really.
Exactly. You know. But we are working on the business to be operational shortly, but we're going to have to hire, you know, somebody from around here to operate the work, because we can't work. We could oversee the business. We could oversee like what's happening. We could kind of like manage certain things, but we can't do day-to-day like work.
Yeah.
So I could kind of like go check up on the guys and see like they're, you know, make sure that they're doing their stuff properly.
Yeah, we just
but
can't
it stops there.
Yeah, and we don't pay each other, so
we can't give ourselves a paycheck on a Friday.
So it's free labor. So the last question is, what is the cost of living here versus, let's say, Canada specifically? I don't know if they're like Quebec, but we were in Quebec.
So in a quick nutshell, because like we mentioned earlier on in this video, I think there's going to be a spin-off to this video because a lot of people want to know, one, it's getting long, and two, a lot of people want to know how much it really costs us to live here. But
it might surprise you.
It might surprise you, yeah, because it's an interesting topic to talk about, because there's a lot of pros and cons of a lot of things, and it's worth to actually make a video about it because a lot of people will be surprised and maybe even shocked. So. Well,
my grandma was shocked. She's been coming here for 25 years, and things have really changed since the you-know-what happened in the world. A lot of things have changed, supply chain, everything, and it makes that the US is not like it used to be right now.
Exactly. So like these are the type of situations, and like that's why we don't want to make this video too long. We're gonna save it for the next one, but is it comparable? Yes, it's comparable, especially like right now. Overall, it is comparable, but there's a lot of changes and a lot of things that we'd like to kind of like include in that video to kind of give you guys the motivation to do so yourself. So.